All right, guys. I've been promising I'd throw something together about the contracts. Forgive me. I've just been exceptionally busy working on some large projects and stuff. But look, I'm going to cut to the chase. We're going to get this done up quick. Hopefully, you guys watch it all the way through. Get your pen and papers ready because I'm about to give you all I got. All right. So there's two things that I usually have, and it may take me another week. It may take me longer uh, to set up a template. But there's two things that I have. So I have the bid, the invoice, and the estimate for to send the clients, right? And in that I have uh um give me a second, let me think. In that I have the different scenarios that could happen. For instance, we'll barricade the affected areas that we will be working in. We will apply seal coat at a mixture rate of 100 to 30 or 100 to 35, whatever the case is. um, and if a person walks and tracks onto concrete, loves asphalt, as long as we have every barricade possible up, loves asphalt is not at fault. We have some information in there about if you try to seek us to fix it, we will charge you. Um, if it is not any fault of our own, that's something that you guys are going to have to figure out here in concrete work, lawn care, whatever the case is. You have to do the due diligence and think of everything that can go wrong that is not your fault and write it down. One, make a list. One, somebody can walk through it. Two, somebody can drive through it. Three, somebody can remove the barricades. Four, um, you know, whatever the case is. Make a list. And then put it in the form of a sentence and apply it to your initial bids. So, and the reason for that is as we get into this contract for service, you will reference that. So every bid could have a number on it, whether it's, say, I always start out the first year of the first two letters are the last two of the year. So 2018, my bid number will be 1801, 18. So right now I'm at about 1830 something. I don't know, 40 something like that. So, um, and of course, once they don't accept the bid, I throw that number away. So you do the due diligence, figure out everything that can go wrong on your job site, everything that can go wrong, and write it down. A, B, C, D, and so forth, so on. Once you have done that, and again, I'll take out all my pertinent personal information um, in mine later. Maybe I'll work on it a little bit more today, but I'll take out all the personal information in my contracts, uh, and we'll be able to send it to whoever wants it individually later on. Again, the quality on this is not going to be the best. My lips will probably be moving, and the words will be coming out later because I'm doing it on this cheap machine here. No professional quality. I'll be writing some stuff down and holding it up for you so you'll get a chance. So, this is a contract that was I paid for my legal team. So, my disclaimer is this contract, even though it will help you, I highly suggest you seek the advice of an attorney. They will better they will better help you. So, first thing you should have, number one, number one is the date, uh, the date, location, your state, and something that says, forgive me, I'm looking at my contract, and something that says this contract is entered to between the parties designated as customer or client and contractor, or whatever you loves asphalt, whatever you call yourself, landscaper, whatever. So the first one should read something like, contract is made up and entered to on, what is today? The 29th day of July, 2018, in the city of BFE, in the state of, I don't care, by and between the parties designated as customer and contractor. Okay, that's the first thing. Now that we got through that, hope you guys are still with me. This is already on a 6-minute video. All right, scope of work. Scope of work, number 2, or section 1. So you got the scope of work. I don't know if this is backwards on your guys' side or not, but bear with me. Scope of work. So, that's all it should say. Scope of work. Then fill it in below. Seal coating, 2 coats, restriping, XYZ. As mentioned in, this is where your estimate or your bid comes in, bid number 18-69. Whole new section. This helps some of y'all coming out. Number 2, payments. Payments. Customer so and so agrees to pay the contractor the sum of $5,000. $5,000. Okay? Write it out in numbers. Then write it out in wording. Numbers, wording. Same lines. $5,000, parentheses, $5,000. For the work detailed above in the scope of work, in the section titled Scope of Work, and the work outlined in the following documents, which are hereby incorporated into this contract. Okay? So, or hereby added into this contract or services. Again, put your estimate or your bid number in there. Bid 18-69. What this does is it bonds, it connects this contract for service to your estimate, which will have everything that you're warranting and everything you're not liable for in it. That will be in your policy under that. So, continue on. So the customer agrees that payments of this contract will be paid as follows. If you request a deposit, that's what you'll do. In that section, a deposit of 1/3 of total cost equaling, 1,000 some odd dollars. I'm no mathematician. I ain't gonna do the math for you. Will be due before entering in or before work starts. Completion time, number 3. Tell them when you're going to complete it. assuming all conditions are satisfying and weather permits, because we work outside, the work performed in this contract shall be completed in a reasonable amount of time once the work begins. Work shall start once everything is gathered, permits, contracts, whatever. Uh, and customer and client has agreed upon the work. There's some more legal mumbo jumbo in there, but we're just covering the essentials here. It is understood and agreed and accepted by the parties to this contract that any delay in progress uh, will be discussed. So what we did here was, because we've had some issues in the past to where we started the work, something occurred, whether the management screwed up, and we had to take a pause, and then they come back and complain to us that we didn't get it done in a reasonable time, but they didn't block off the areas like we initially agreed upon, or um, weather, anything. So you need to have something in there about it's understood that any delays in progress will be noted, and if anything changes, a change order will be brought about. Basically, all you'll have to do, and this is a lot for commercial, basically all you'll have to do is write up a little something. We were delayed for 1 week due to weather conditions, which will push back our start date, so forth, so on. Again, this is very vague. There's a lot more wording in this, but this, if you come up with some stuff, stick to these guidelines. You'll be covered until you can seek the advice of a lawyer. Have in there somewhere, well, let's skip to, let's go on to number 4. So, once you complete the work, let's recap real quick. So, we have the scope of work, and here's where you have to detail what you're doing. We're seal coating at 2 coats, mixture of whatever, applied by spraying, squeegeeing, or whatever the case is, concrete. We're laying 4,000 psi, high performance mix, laced with wire, fiber, rebar, whatever the case is. Number 2, payments. Customer agrees to pay X amount. Both write the number, write the wording for the work detail above, and then also have in there referencing the bid number. Then have in there any deposits. The contractor requires a 50% deposit, whatever the case is. Then, number 3, explain your completion time. We will have this done within 2 weeks of commencement, unless weather conditions or something unforeseen comes up, which owners will be notified. It's important. It kind of puts you out there so they trust you more. Saying, oh, well, if something happens, they'll let us know. Late payments. This is important. Once you're done with it, I've had this happen to me, and I did not have this contract, and I've been screwed. Late payments. The customer fails to pay the contractor within 10 days of the date payment, or 20 days, whatever the case is, of the date payment becomes due. What that means is if it's a net 30 and they go 40 days, this is where this starts to protect you. Which a failure to pay is no fault of the contractor. The contractor may stop work and keep the job idle until such payments are due. Or they can seek legal action at no cost to the contractor. So once you jump from late payments to attorney fees and costs, is number 5, attorney fees and costs. This is important. This says, screw me, I'm going after you, and I'm collecting everything. Number 5, attorney fees and costs. If it's backwards, read backwards. Let me see here. I'll spit off some of this mumbo jumbo that I got here. It's understood and agreed by the parties that in the event that the contract is placed in the hands of an attorney, or you can say something along the lines of, if it's agreed upon that payment is not received and we have to seek legal counsel for any amount of money, or a suit is brought on the same, let me retract that a little bit. Any fees collection of any sums due hereunder, suits is brought on the same or sums due hereunder are collected through bankruptcy or other proceedings, then the contractor shall be entitled to recover reasonable attorney fees. So, I mumbled off a little bit of what we had on there. This is basically saying, if you have to seek attorney or legal advice, that the client could be responsible for reimbursement of your legal fees. Have that in there. Reasonable legal fees. Reasonable. Warranties. Number 6. Number 6. Warranties. I get paid for my handwriting. So, you should have something in there that your company will cover any defects or issues arising that could be caused by manufacturer or a substandard workmanlike workmanship for a period of, I always do 1 year, don't go above it. But now, you have that in there, but when you refer to your bid number, you have everything that you won't cover, such as somebody else walking on it, putting footprints in it, cars driving on it, somebody dragging once it's dry and everybody starts driving on it, a trailer falls off and it drags it across your asphalt steel coat, pulling everything up. They're not responsible for that. So you have to have things like that on your bids. So a warranty is very important. Any variation to the warranty, the above warranty, for instance, if you guys agree upon something in your face-to-face, you need to have a block for that. So any variation to the above warranties are indicated in the below. And then you put it. If there's nothing, put NA. Have them initial that area. Also put in there something along the lines of in the warranty section, put in there if, this is important too, because I've had people try to come back on me on this. If during the warranty period it is shown that issues has arisen at fault of the contractors, the business has 10 days to notify via writing of these issues. So if they don't call, they have to write you, make it legal. Another important thing, choice of law. You ought to put this in there as well. Choice of law and acceptance of venue. Your lawyer, once you get enough to put a lawyer on retainer, they practice law in the state that you live in, 9 times out of 10. So, choice of law basically says, signing this contract, you understand that both parties understand that if legal proceedings or what is a good word, a dispute arises out of this contract, it will be filed in the appropriate state or federal court situated in the said location. Lighting sucks, don't it? Which is what we put up here in the very beginning of this. Have a place for both of you to sign and date. And that's it in a nutshell. So, let's recap a little bit. Number 1, scope of work. Detail what you are doing. Number 2, payments. Customer agrees to pay X amount, write it out, the number, and then, in parentheses, write out the other part, the wording for the work detailed above. And then reference your contract, 18 whatever. Number 3, completion time. We will complete the work in an appropriate amount of time, given we have proper weather, good weather, and nothing unforeseen out of the control of the contractor arises. Talk about late payments. If you don't pay me within a certain amount of time, we're going to tack on interest. And then you go to attorneys. In this state, if we have to seek attorneys to get our money, you will be responsible for our attorney fees. Put your warranties. We warranty this for anything that could be caused by failure of workmanship quality within X amount of time. Have a place to initial it. Have a place if anything else is added to it. If you do go 2 years on it, or you know, whatever the case is, if they say, well, we'll do it, but we want you to warranty this too, and you say, okay, well, we'll warranty that. Put it in that section. Make sure you put in there that they have to notify you via writing within X amount of days that they find the issue. What this will do is, say it comes up on day 360 out of 365, and they write you and say, hey, on the 3rd month, we noticed X. Well, they violated their and I've never been in that issue, so I'm not sure what would arise out of it. Personally, I would just go fix it, but if you want to be a dick, it's in your contract, so your lawyers could have a heyday with it. Let's see, warranties. choice of law. If you want to seek reimbursement or sue me because I did bad work, we have to do it in this state, whatever state you're in. Both parties. And then the last part, signing, something should be in there saying both parties agree to the above contract. Have your places to sign. 25-minute video. I hope you take notes and then revise this contract to however fit you. But this will be a good basis to start. Once you start, I'm going to tell you, I highly suggest you get a lawyer on retainer, especially if you do commercial. Best of luck, guys. I hope it helps.